What is up, everybody? Welcome into the show. So glad to have you guys in. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of Crushing Fantasy Football. Guys, today we're going to be talking about 5 must-own running backs. And I'm going to start right here with the first running back on my list, and that's Breece Hall. Now, this is a guy who we love the prospect coming into the league, right? 4.39 40 time, 5'11", 217 pounds. Incredible combination of size, speed, and vision. This dude last year, despite not really getting cut loose until week 5, 591 receiving yards, first in the league, 76 receptions, first in the league, 3.9 yards created per touch. This dude is tremendous at bouncing off defenders, at making people miss. This is very much because he has the elite trio of size, speed, and vision. Look for this dude to absolutely explode in this offense. Not only that, but he did all of this last year without Aaron Rodgers. He did this with the Jets being one of the worst offenses in the NFL, having one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL for them playing all season. And now you look at a team that could easily be a top 10 offense in the NFL this year with Aaron Rodgers leading the offense. If Breece Hall was able to do what he did last year, playing in a bottom 5 NFL offense, just imagine his upside if this is a top 10 offense this season. This dude's going to light the league on fire. Next player on my list is going to be Saquon Barkley. Now, I first want to point out that Saquon Barkley has a very easy schedule. He's going against a lot of really soft run defenses. If you really look at the Eagles' schedule, it's very juicy for Saquon Barkley. And this just going in the second round. Mid to late second round. I mean, what a steal. I mean, we're finally in a situation where we're going to actually see how good Saquon Barkley is, okay? Because, well, we haven't really gotten to see that yet. I mean, he's been in a terrible offense his whole career. His first year as a rookie, he flashed signs of all kinds of immense talent, as we knew he would. It's just that even that year, he was playing on a team where he was having to create all the yardage all on his own. This dude still might be the most talented running back in the entire NFL. It's just that people have kind of forgotten about him because he's been playing for the Giants in a terrible system. Now you put him on a team with an actual good offensive line, with a mobile quarterback, with elite wide receivers to stretch the field and open up dump-off passes for Saquon over the middle of the field, out of the backfield. They might even line him up and let him run some routes. My gosh, this dude's going to explode as a wide receiver. This dude is going to explode in rushing yards. If he led the league in rushing yards, I wouldn't be all that surprised. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is going to get some of his own, but there's going to be so many rushing yards and so many rushing touchdowns to go around in this offense because it's going to be a very good offense that even though Jalen Hurts is going to siphon some of those yardage and touchdowns, there's still going to be plenty of yardage and touchdowns to go around for Saquon Barkley. I love this dude to explode. We know that running backs that play with mobile quarterbacks always have better yards per carry efficiency. This offensive line made Miles Sanders look good. I mean, goodness gracious, if they can make Miles Sanders look good, just imagine what Saquon Barkley can do. Obviously, they don't have Jason Kelce anymore, so it's a little bit different of an offensive line, but still a great offensive line, by far and away a better offensive line that Saquon's ever played for. Look for him to potentially be the running back 1 this season. Next player on my list is Kyren Williams of the Rams. Now, this is a guy who last year, despite missing 5 games, he only played 2/3 of the season, still was 3rd in the league in rushing yards with 1,144 rushing yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry. The dude is tremendously efficient. A big thing with Kyren Williams coming into the league is that he was a little bit undersized and a little bit slow, so the athletic intangibles really weren't what people wanted them to be. But, you know, every once in a while, and this happens, somebody comes into the NFL and they get faster. They get bigger, right? I have been watching videos of Kyren Williams. I've been watching the film this offseason. I've been watching the films, recently of Kyren Williams. And this dude looks freaking big. He looks fast. He looks quick. He looks elusive. I mean, this dude is a much better athlete than his 40 time and his size profile suggest. So don't let that stuff scare you away. Not to mention the fact that we've already seen him produce at the NFL level. This dude is a very good back. I wouldn't worry about Blake Corum. We're looking at a back in Kyren Williams who could very easily have 20-plus carries a game this season, yet again for the Rams, and he's going to be involved as a passer in what could be a very, very good Rams offense, especially with a healthy Cooper Kupp. My gosh. Healthy Cooper Kupp, healthy Matt Stafford going into the season. We all know how good Puka Nacua is. We saw it as a rookie. This offense has serious upside. Kyren Williams could be the running back 1 in fantasy. He has that upside, and he's going in round 3. Smash play. Next player on my list is going to be Josh Jacobs. Now, this is a guy who the best season we saw him have was 2 years ago, right? And that was in a piss-poor offense, really. I mean, he was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage and just creating yardage all on his own. The dude had like 1,600-plus receiving yards in what was a pretty much bad Raiders offense. right? I mean, his only help really was Devontae Adams to stretch the field a little bit. Now we put him behind the best offensive line he's ever been behind. Not saying much because it's not hard to beat those Raiders offensive lines. We put him in the most loaded wide receiver room that he's ever had in his career. We put him with the most mobile quarterback that he's ever had in his career. And like I said, when I was talking about Saquon, backs with mobile quarterbacks always average better yards per carry efficiency. I think this is going to be the first season where we see Josh Jacobs average more than 5 yards a carry. His best season as far as his yards per carry efficiency was the 2022 season where he averaged 4.9 yards a carry. Look for him to average something like 5.1, 5.2 yards a carry in his Packers offense. The efficiency is going to be absolutely through the roof. He's a bigger back than Aaron Jones, so look for them to actually give him workhorse volume. I know that Aaron Jones deserved workhorse volume when he was on the Packers, and he didn't get it because he was a little bit undersized. He was a little bit injury prone. If I was the coach, I still would have let Aaron Jones cut loose and be the workhorse in the offense. That's just me. But I don't think they're going to be afraid to do that with Josh Jacobs because he's a bigger back. He's a 225-pound back. He's more of that prototypical bell cow workhorse beast running back who's big and thick and can just he can take a pounding, right? So this is a guy who, God, wait a minute, major pause. Anyway, this is a guy who can lead this team and potentially lead the NFL in not only rushing yardage, but touchdowns because he's in an explosive enough offense to really lead the NFL in multiple statistical categories. Next and final player on my list is going to be Isaiah Pacheco. Now, this is a guy who we're looking at 50 red zone touches last year. I mean, this is a dude 7th in the league in red zone touches. And this was in a Chiefs offense that really was not very good last season. You know, you look at last season, and that's actually the worst offense in the Pat Mahomes era. So in the worst offense in the Pat Mahomes era, Isaiah Pacheco ran the ball like crazy. He had a 3.59 yards created per touch. He was tops in the league in touchdowns. He had 9 touchdowns, which was top 12 in the league. Look for those touchdown numbers to go up significantly this season. I think that Isaiah Pacheco is going to see somewhere around 15 or 16 touchdowns this season. And if he came out and had an Austin Eckler-like season where he had like 18 to 20 touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised at all in this offense because we now have Marquise Brown to stretch the field. We have Travis Kelce coming back. We have Xavier Worthy to stretch the field. Rashee Rice. This is an absolutely loaded offense. And dare I say it might be the most loaded offense in the Pat Mahomes era. I really like Isaiah Pacheco to take a step forward this season. And I think he's one of the biggest must-own running backs in fantasy. All right. Appreciate you guys. Catch you later.